Today is July 21st, 2022, and this is your daily Half-Life 3 update. There is no news about Half-Life 3. So there was something else I wanted to rant about for a second here, and it just never made sense to me, and that's always kind of bothered me, is tipping. Like, why do we tip? Like, what's the point of that? And it's like mandatory. I mean, can't you just pay the waitresses more? Like, yes, I know it would raise the price of food, so raise the price of food and pay the tippers more. I mean, like, why is it on us to do this? And it's something I've noticed more about, like, the effect it's having on, like, Uber Eats and DoorDash and stuff like that. Is you got tip first, which makes absolutely no sense to me. You're tipping before you get your service? In what world does that make sense? You're supposed to tip after your food gets delivered, because you tip the delivery driver based on, him doing a good job delivering your food. If he gets there in the time that he's supposed to get there, and if he, if the food's still hot, if he's got all the items there, then you tip based on the quality of the delivery. You don't tip before. It's like, even if someone who is fine with tipping, imagine that working in like a restaurant scenario where you tip your waitress before you even order, and if you don't do that, your waitress will just ignore you. You'll just sit in the booth, and the waitress will never come to you and ask your order because you didn't tip them ahead of time. And also, why are you tipping the waitress? I mean, this might be disrespectful to waitresses, but they're bringing the food to you. If you're going to tip anybody in this scenario, you tip the cook, because the cook is the one making the food. The quality of the food has nothing to do with the waitress. I mean, it's the cook who's making the food. I mean, I'm supposed to tip based on how often the waitress asks me if the food's good. I still tip because, I mean, I know I have to. I don't want to tip. I don't like tipping, but I still do it. I would rather I didn't. I'd rather just pay whatever the thing is. And if I'm being honest, they could probably afford to pay their waitresses more and still not raise the price of food that much. Especially with like the big chain places like Denny's. You go to Denny's. Denny's probably makes enough money that they could afford to pay their waitresses more while still changing the price of food very little. But And that has been your daily Half-Life 3 update for July 21st, 2022.